Hey guys, welcome back to the Ortiz Outtakes. Melanie is not going to be with us. She's out in Austin. She's out doing that. What I'm going to be doing this week is just going over some comic books that I'm going to be sending to go and get professionally graded. Getting comic books graded is something that is, totally up to you. In some instances, it can raise the value of your comic books, but it also protects the comic books as far as, UV rays, also just bumps and bruises on the corners and spine, and you're not handling it direct on, because it's protected. It's sure to 100% last for years and years. There's a few key things that you should be looking out for when you're sending it. Is just to pack it correctly. Just make sure that you're putting it in a box it's a size that won't get the comic book bent or anything like that. I'm going to do 5 books, and I'm going to show you how each one is packed and get ready for shipping. You're going to need a few supplies. First, I have my comic books, of course, and then I have my cardboard backing. I have comic book plastics. I have scissors, tape, some cardboard for the packing, bubble wrap, and of course you see the box back there. And I also have a magnifying glass with a LED light on it. Now, what this is going to be used for, you can do it pretty much with your phone as well. But I've had this one for a very long time, and I like the way it works. This one, I can even take it off of the little perch that is on. We'll go ahead and get started. The first one I'm going to be sending in is the Amazing Spider-Man number 375. Okay, this comic book, I picked it out because, number one, it's a pretty cover. It's a very pretty cover. It's a gold foil. It has the Venom and the Spider-Man on there. And also, this book right here introduces the first She-Venom. The first She-Venom. So it's a nice key comic to have. And I'm going to be sending it in once I get it packed up with the rest of these guys here. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what you need to do just to make sure that you're sending in a good copy of a comic book that's you want to get a good grade when it comes back, So of course, you're going to need to look at it. So what I do with the magnifying glass, I'll just look at the corners. I'll just look at the corners and the spine to see if there's any bends or any like glue. Check the staples, just make sure that they're in there. Just check the rest of the cover and the sides there for any damage, any flaws that you may discover. And this one, the front it looks pretty good. It looks really nice. I won't say it's flawless because there's always like the little corners. You want to make sure that you don't have on the corners little dog ears, little flaps. Sometimes it's so small because the comic book's been read so much that it just happens. So you want to turn the comic book around. Just make sure that there's not any, of course, dirt or debris. And do the same thing like you did to the front, to the back of the comic book. You want to get close up on there. Look into your magnifying glass, or if you have your phone, you can, zoom right in there take a picture of it and zoom, at your leisure. Okay. You also want to look for any bends in the spine, like I mentioned, and when you look at the comic book, kind of like look at it at an angle that maybe you can, if you can detect any, like of the cover having any folds or bends or things of that nature. So what you can do, and what I recommend, and what's been recommended to me, is to get your comic book pressed. Okay, you can get them pressed and cleaned, or just pressed. Now there are services that do perform this, and of course, you got your diehards, your do-it-yourself guys, and they and from what they say and what I've seen online is that they get like a t-shirt press, that you make t-shirts with the little iron-ons and what have you. They do it with those, but of course they have to regulate what temperature, and they have, you're gonna have to do a little bit of research on it if you're gonna do it your own. Now, I'm not gonna do it my own, because I'm not gonna. I just want to test the CGC's service. It says that they provide that service as well. If you have a comic book that needs pressing, you can pay an additional fee in addition to the grading, and you can also have them restored. So that what that entails is just having the comic books cleaned and what have you. You're gonna have to make your own determination when it comes to that, because the comic books throughout the years have changed in the texture and the inks and the paper. So what's a modern day comic book like today is not going to be like a comic book that was pre like 1975. It's total different paper. The covers, the gloss on it's all different type of inks and stuff. So you're gonna have to make that determination if you want to go ahead and get them cleaned and restored before you get them graded. But the CGC, they do offer that service for an additional fee. So this one is good to go. I'm gonna put it to the side. We're gonna go ahead and go with the next one. This one right here is the Marvel, or the DC versus Marvel #1. So this comic book, it's a very good comic book, and it just basically it's just one of them dreams that Marvel and DC fans have, that one day they should that they should all fight and what have you. This book is from 1996, and it still looks good. When I bought it, I actually bought this one. Sometimes you buy other people's collections and stuff like that, but this one I actually bought it, and after I picked it up, I put it away, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at it right now. Just make sure that everything is good to go. As I mentioned, you want to look at the corners, the spines, to make sure there's no bends. Look at all the corners. All right, turn it around. It's very nice white pages. Corners are nice. This one, I want to say it's perfect in the back, at least. The one thing that a lot of folks do every once and again is when they send their comic books in, they don't really flip through the pages, because I guess they're scared they're going to ruin it or whatever, or bend it. But you need to go ahead and do that, because every once in a while, especially in the older comics, they used to have, and they probably still do, I'm not too sure, but they have like coupons that you can cut out and mail in, for a prize or what have you. Sometimes that ruins the comic books well, that ruins, if you pick one up, that ruins the comic books grading. It's not going to be appraised for as much as it should be. Basic example is the Wolverine Hulk edition. I want to say it's 180, but that one has a coupon in it that you were allowed to cut, or they were asking you to cut it out and mail it in and get a prize. But that, you have to really look at that, because other comic books have that too. The next one is the X-Force #2. So the X-Force #2 is the second appearance of Deadpool, and I believe it's the first appearance of Weapon X, if I'm correct. All right, so #2, this is from 1991. I found it, I was just fishing through my collection, and I saw that I had it, and same thing with the next one, two X-Force books that I had in my collection, and I didn't even know that I had them. But every once in a, if you're a collector, sometimes you go ahead and collect and forget, So this one here, I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. All right, all the corners are nice. There's no bends or anything on the spine. That corner is beautiful. Same with this one and this one as well. Look through the pages. See, this is one that actually has one right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it has the cutout. So the other one that I was talking about was the X-Force #11, and that's this one here. And this one, it is the first appearance of Domino. So this is like I said before, I found it in my collection as well. I said, oh crap, I had that one. I was looking on YouTube and I saw it. So I fished it out, and I'm gonna go ahead and check it out to make sure that I'm gonna get a good grading when I send this in. I don't see any stains. Now there have been folks that also, in addition to the magnifying glass and the lights and the LED light, they also use they've been known to use a black light. And with the black light, you're gonna see all the flaws that the paper has. I'll leave it like that. Anyway, looking at the back, you see there's another order sheet, that's there. Just make sure that it's not written in and stuff like that. So this next one is the Gargoyles. So I don't know how many of you guys remember the Gargoyles. This one was actually a cartoon that was on TV in the 90s. So this specific edition, this is the first one, #1, and also I had looked at it online, and it was fetching a good price. At least now, when I say it was looking good on price, I'm pretty much looking at it raw. And what raw means is just that it has never had anything professionally done to it, i.e. cleaning, pressing, grading, and what have you, okay? So yeah, all of these comic books are raw. I have never gotten them pressed or cleaned. So I'm checking this one out right here. The corners, this one has a little bit of a flaw on the corner right there, and it also has a bend on the spine. That's one bend and another bend down below. The corner looks like it's just been around for a little while, but it's not too bad. Doesn't look ridiculous. It looks okay. So this one, I don't expect for it to be graded a 9.8. That's basically what we want. When we get grading done is 9.8 is absolute. But if you could get it 9s and above, that's okay. Now, granted, when you're doing these old books, it's just like the one I mentioned before, you get the one that been handled and not properly taken care of. you know, you might get a very low, like 3.0 or something like that. But to some folks, that doesn't matter. You know, what matters is that it's saved. You know, because I have a comic book. It's an older one. It's like a Spider-Man. It's like very old. It's like 12 cents. I forgot what it was. The Amazing Spider-Man. It has a rip on the cover. I wouldn't send it in, but I do definitely cover it up to make sure it doesn't get damaged anymore. But a lot of folks, they'll send it in just to get it encapsulated. So this way, you know, you can preserve that, you know, that art. You know, it's those comic books from back in the days, you know, that was, you know, like Spider-Man and things of that nature. Fantastic Four. You know, if you get one that's a little bit damaged, you know, still hold on to it. You know, just if you're a fan, you know, of that particular hero. I love Spider-Man. That was like my childhood hero. The next stage in what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start setting it up to get it delivered over to the CGC services. And I've already logged on to the CGC, became a member, and I've done all the list, the packing list and everything, and it's right here. So all I need to do is just pack it up, throw the packing list inside, and send it off. All right, but a lot of folks, you know, they tend to pack it sloppily. You want to take care of you. This is an investment of sorts, you know. So the first thing that I do, you know, with any raw comic, I'll go ahead and get the comic book. I'll get a backboard. It's a cardboard, rigid. Okay. I'll put it on the cardboard. Oh, and by the way, if it's already in cardboard and a plastic and you're going to send it in, what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and put a new cardboard, take out the old one, and then put a new plastic as well, covering. So, you know, because all the old plastics, they have, if you look at it, they've been handled so much. You know, some of them been in like in the dealer stores, and you know, the people are going through the comic books, touching them, you know, or in the flea market, or you know. So what happens is it starts getting spotted and stained. So I just bought some new plastic and I'm gonna replace it. But remember, you know, presentation is everything. Now they're gonna take this off, and when they encapsulate it and they start, but it's already in their hands, and you know they know what they're professionals. They're not gonna return it back to you. You know, yeah, I wouldn't want it anyways. Okay, so this one is done. Just put it to the side. It's just added protection. Okay, you don't want to send your books over and then, you know, they get damaged when they take them out the box. It falls on the floor or things of that nature. Okay. Okay, so almost done. Then I'll show you how to just how you should pack it, or how I'm packing mine. Now, like I said, if you're a collector, you know, just you do you know, but this is what I recommend. All right, so I have these rigid cardboard. But they're pretty hard, and they're already cut to a little bit over the size of the comic books themselves. So what CGC wants you to do is they want you to pack it in the box the same way that it is on the submission form. Okay, so when they open it up, it's like bam. So the first one that I have is The Amazing Spider-Man. And the second one that I have is DC versus Marvel. And the third one is X-Men 11. Oh, I'll take that back. Is the Gargoyles. And then X-Men 11. And then X-Men, I say X-Men, I'm sorry. X-Force. X-Force 2. Okay. Before I even put it on this cardboard, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put some bubble wrap around it. Now I kind of like pre-cut it, you know. I'm gonna take the pack like this, just wrap it up in some bubble wrap. Get your tape. You don't want it moving around, you know. Get some tape. All right, so the second thing that you just, you put it on that cardboard that I mentioned. Take the other cardboard, put it on top, and make a sandwich. Okay? You make a sandwich. Then you get your Scotch tape. Just secure all the sides. These here, you want to make a tight sandwich. A nice tight sandwich. So you see, that's pretty much, that's solid right there. This cardboard is not, it's pretty good. I don't remember, I'm sorry, I don't remember where I got them, but I think I might have got them on like Amazon or something like that, you look on the comic book supplies, packing supplies. I think that's where I got it. It was a few years ago and I still have plenty. All right, so the next thing that CGC wants you to do is print out a copy of the submission form, okay, and then place it on top of your order. I'm gonna put this to the side right here, and I'm gonna prepare my box. So in this instance, I'm gonna be sending my priority mail, and I've already picked up a box, taped it up. I put the address on there, the return address, on the box. But let me just show you how I prepared the box. I do already have pre-cut bubble wrap. So I kind of like just layer it to the make sure that it's long enough so this way when you put it in, you can fold the bubble wrap over it just to give it an extra layer of protection. So after you do that, go ahead and place your comic books in the box. Just make sure that the bubble wrap is covering everything. You want to make sure that it's not going to be bouncing around. Even though it's well protected, you want to make sure that it's not bouncing around. And you could put more packing, or you could put more bubble wrap. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit more bubble wrap, just to make sure that it's not bouncing around. I have more here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to place all of the rest of this in there. And the box is rigid enough that you don't have to pack it to the top, okay? And the good thing about sending it priority mail is that, you know, you can track it. You know, it's costs a little bit more than like media mail or something like that, but I like priority mail. I haven't had any issues with them really. Okay, so we're good to go, guys. So when I get this back and they're graded, I'm gonna go ahead and do an open box review, and then we can see, if you're curious, to see what kind of grading that they gave me. I kind of excited about it, so we're just gonna have to wait maybe about 20-ish days. So they say it's 20. What I also paid for was the pressing. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I paid for pressing, so I don't know if it's gonna take longer than 20 days, but we'll see. We'll see. But until then, I thank you guys for tuning in. If you're curious, tune in next week, or tune in a couple of weeks, and make sure you subscribe and you hit that like button, so this way you can see what the update is on my graded comics. All right, so on behalf of Melanie and myself, Carlos, thank you very much. Okay, and I'll see you soon. All right, thanks.